Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. We let you, the people, tell us who of your favorite players should be at the All-Star game, because we're going to be there. Let's talk about it. Hit it on the ground a second. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jake. His name is Trevor. His name is David. And we are men of the people every day. But today, we said it's been too long. We haven't opened up the hotlines in a minute. And we are going to let you guys, we're going to give you a chance to win us over. Win over the crowd. Gladiator style. And then we can be your mouthpiece. We've started. Didn't like that term, huh, Trev? No, you're nobody's mouthpiece.
I mean, I'm somebody's mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Not everybody's mouthpiece.
Well, we are the voices of baseball, Trev. So if we get one over today, I mean, we could start a grassroots All-Star Game campaign today and change someone's life. And that's what this is all about, right?
I've been wanting to do that since we started this dang company, since 2020 pre-COVID spring training that we were just talking about, when we snuck into the Pirates locker room without access. That's how we used to roll, people. Now we're corporate.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, though. The reason I'm on one, look at this.
Yes. Oh, look at you.
The reason I'm on one today is I get out of the shower, kind of like getting myself together to come on this show. You know what my wife told me?
What'd she tell you?
Dang, I got a sexy husband. Now, nobody can tell me shit the rest of the day, and you know that. Like, I got my tea levels are hot right now. I got coffee here. I got my green juice here. I got my banana here. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
How can you tell me anything right now?
Yeah, same thing going on my side of the fence. As I
go to the YouTube if you're on the podcast app.
Wearing overalls for the first time since I was, I think, elementary school. But
Can I tell you something, Big Daddy? Let me tell you something right now.
You wanna?
Them pipes?
Yeah.
Them traps?
Want me to move the mic a little bit?
I mean, like, I know we have a counterpart in this industry. His name is Jared Carabas.
Right.
And he, like, he's got a nice set of arms, but, like, I think that you might have them now, Poppy.
Our arms are... There's different flavors.
He doesn't got you in calves.
He doesn't
got you in calves. No. We know that.
No, he's got a half inch on me height-wise. He's got some nice arms. He's got the tattoo look going on. He's got his thing.
That's true.
I
These
got
are
my
just different
thing.
branding.
I'm, Trev, you walk away from some of the events in your neighborhood. I've got that,
Oh, yeah. You got that.
I've got that bored housewife market locked.
Like, he's a freak.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun night.
Like,
might get a little weird.
Right.
I might not like it in 2 or 3 days, but...
Oh, a lot of regret. Trev, as we dive into some All-Star Game voicemails from the fans, it's a great time to remind the people we will be at the All-Star Game.
Oh.
You, me, Rosie, BBD, Jolly Olive. We're doing some live content with people that will go up on John Boy Media. We are doing a live Talkin Baseball with Chris Rose. And by the way, I've been living a little nervous of that week just because it's like All-Star Game and we got a lot of other content to do. Talked to Chris Rose and me and BBD did some planning yesterday. Not related to the All-Star Game, but All-Star Friday, which you think might be like a dry Talkin Baseball episode, we've got something Flames lined up. So I'll loop you in on that afterwards.
Yeah, you should probably tell me. Probably let me know what's going on.
Sam and I just put it on the schedule to record during All-Star Week. Exciting.
If you're going to be in Seattle Tuesday, July 11th at Optimism Brewing Company, we're going live. We're recording before the game, and then we're watching the game. So we're going to be there. We're buckling in for like 5 hours. There's some rumors Jess and Olivia will be there. And it's just, we've done this the past couple years. It's so much fun. It's such a good, it's what honestly this company is best at. It's such a strong baseball community that the people there and the time is just awesome. So come on through. We still got some tickets left, starting to run out, and we'll see you guys in Seattle. So come out, or if you're already there, like, just dial it in.
How many? Okay, I'm just trying to think now. You just said 5 hours. I like to drink beer. There's no, secret about that. I like to drink beer and watch baseball. So I'm gonna put my over/under at 7.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a nice safe number for me. If I go way over that, it could get a little sloppy.
Right.
Under that, I'm not gonna have any fun.
Right.
I'll go 7.
Yeah, the first one we did in Denver, there's some pictures of me. I had to get dragged out of the bar. Not actually on the ground, but like, Jake, we gotta go. Enough beers, enough people.
I've been there with you, big guy.
I know it. So
Love the people.
Excited to see the people. BBD, you sorted through these. Do you know how many voicemails we got in total?
At the time I started sorting, it was at 183, and they kind of kept rolling in. So in total, well over 200 calls. Some people are repeats, like they messed up, call back in, a couple pranks. But
we have
was
any
the total number not in here.
The pranks didn't make it.
Pranks didn't make the cut.
Executive decision. Really, if we break down that wall, that just opens up too much. So
it's like showing a streaker on the field.
Yes. Then.
Everybody wants to see the streaker.
We only do a couple of these a couple times a year, so you don't want to leave that too. Okay, Trev, you have your hand raised.
If I'm running these broadcasts, guess what I'm doing? I'm showing the streaker.
You're showing
Give
a lot
the
of
people
streaker.
what they want.
Yeah.
Hey, before I play the first one, this first guy, by far the most called in about guy, does that mean he's not underrated? If everyone's calling in, but just so you know.
Okay. So this is numero uno.
High volume calls about this specific guy playing.
What's going on, guys? As far as underrated All-Stars go, from a Padres fan, we've had absolutely nothing to cheer for the entire year besides Soto and Tatis, who will probably both make the All-Star team. One guy from that team that does not get enough love, at least in my opinion, just based on A, overall effort, B, transitioning over from Korea, and C, contributions to the team. A guy like Ha-Seong Kim probably won't make the All-Star team, but 1.8 WAR offensively, 1.8 WAR defensively, that's good for 13th in the entire league at a 3.3 total for WAR. I mean, he's above guys like Garrett Cole, Freddie Freeman, McClanahan, Sonny Gray, Jose Ramirez, Mookie. Ha-Seong Kim probably won't make the All-Star team, but should he? I don't know. Something to consider.
Trev, I feel like this is where we left off. I feel like this is your guy.
I just talked about this guy and the WAR total on the season. Right now, he's got 44 games started at second base, 16 at third base, and 9 at shortstop. So he's moving all over the place. We know what he can do defensively, offensively. Like, he's kind of, held his own. He's at a 748 OPS, which it's got to be pretty high for him. It's the highest he's had in his career, 111 OPS plus. And yes, on a team that's been struggling offensively, he's been steady for them. So we've been talking, we talk about Ha-Seong Kim and really value his game. Now, can he make the All-Star team? In the way that it's constructed now, in the way that the votes go down, I got to agree with the caller. It's going to be very tough for him because it's like you need a util position.
Right. Like the
we
LJM.
need to, like, there's a lot of things that, like, the modern game has changed that we need to kind of catch up with. We talked about the Hall of Fame and all these counting stats. Like, they're just not going to be there for guys because careers are, they're not allowed to play that long anymore.
Right.
Like, you have to be an absolute superstar to even have a chance to play long enough. And then for the All-Star game, if you're moving around, which a lot of guys have to do in today's game, like, teams really value flexibility. We should add that onto the All-Star game. A util role, whether that means you have to play infield, outfield, there's got to be some parameters around it, but Ha-Seong Kim is one of the most valuable players in the game right now. If you're looking at WAR, And, just overall, if you're starting a team and you're building up a roster, like to win baseball games, you want a guy like this on your team. I'm all in on it.
It gets tricky. So we were looking up because all-star requirements, I think they changed a couple years ago. It's 32 players. You need 2 players at each position. So NL, second base, Luis Arias. Think he's going to make it. He may be your starter. Now there is a pool, and this is where things get ridiculous, Trev, because Thairo Estrada, Ketel Marte, Ha-Seong Kim, and even Nico Horner, before you get to Ozzie Albies, like, I've got a pool of 5 guys that if any of them end up on the All-Star team, I have no problem with that. And I wonder, because, we get a couple dropouts here and there. It feels like 3 of those guys are going to end up on this team, but I don't know what 3. I don't know how you sort between Thairo, Kim, Ketel, Horner, even Albies, which that drives Braves fans nuts. But part of the reason we want to do this episode is the realization of, like, man, some of these positions are stacked.
It's difficult doing these All-Star games. And the thing about this is we're going to talk about the 32 players that get named to the All-Star team, but we're also going to have guys drop out.
Yes.
Guys won't go, whether it's they're injured or whether they don't want to go because they might hear something from the crowd. I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, I was actually shocked to see Thairo Estrada's WAR as high as it was. I know he's having a good season, but he's leading NL second baseman according to Fangraphs, where he's tied with Luis Arias at least, and then right behind them is Ha-Seong Kim. I gotta imagine. I'm looking at the finalists right now, so I guess I should get that up. For second baseman,
Arias and Albies.
That's who it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so Arias should win that one, but Braves fandom is crazy.
Braves fans are nuts.
I was going to say Jonathan India might get it because of the Reds' resurgence and, what he means to that team, but since he's not a finalist, then it comes down to the NL manager last year, so that's Topper.
Can I give you one other thing on Jonathan India?
Hot.
He doesn't want to go. He's just going to have sex all All-Star break.
That's so true.
And I believe important update. I think the manager doesn't get to decide that anymore. It's like a committee. Managers maybe are part of it, but it's not straight up the manager's choice anymore.
I mean, what can we have some set rules and just kind of stick with them, people?
Don't change them every year. Maybe?
Not every year.
Can I tell you what may be the number one thing going in Ha-Seong Kim's favor? And a reminder, it's an all-star game. We're displaying the game. Ha-Seong Kim being Korean, I think, having a Korean all-star and the world's game and all that, because, maybe that shouldn't be the deciding vote, but all of these guys are so close that depending if you're on Baseball Reference or Fangraphs, they jump each other and leapfrog each other, that these guys are all in the same boat, man.
Jonathan India is meeting up with John Jaso in the Bahamas, tying their boats up together, living life for a few days. Okay. Luis Arias should get the all-star start. I'm sorry. I don't think you can really debate that. I mean,
no.
I know he's not the best defender out there, but when you put up that offensive mark of hitting close to 400 and you talk to anybody around baseball, you understand how difficult that is. He deserves to start the All-Star.
As of yesterday, Arias 54%, Albies 46%.
That seems like a substantial lead, doesn't it?
I hope.
Like when I'm watching presidential elections, if there's like that big of a gap, they basically lock it up for you. So that's what I base it on.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty much a pundit for that sort of thing.
Yes.
Let's just give it to Arias, right?
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
He's a spot for sure.
One more second baseman. Are you giving it to Thairo or are you giving it to Kim?
If it's one more second baseman,
this is the game we're playing, bro.
Nico Horner not getting a lot of shout-outs, which is also crazy. Ketel Marte. He's got 15 ding-dongs.
There are some calls about both of them. They're not in this list.
I will. If it's only 2, it's hard for me to go against Tyro because I think team success should matter, and the Giants have now been head and shoulders over the Padres for a little bit. So if it's 2, it's Tyro. I think this ends up being a 3-person position because also at the end of the All-Star game, you get kooky. Like if Kim needs to play anywhere, same with Tyro, like they're fine with it. So I think it ends up being a 3-fer.
Another thing working against Kim is just every team needs to be represented, and they will have a couple guys in San Diego.
Interesting. Yeah, I know it's Tyro 65 games played, Ha-Seong Kim 75 games played, but Tyro has them in runs, RBI, stolen bases, weighted runs created plus. They're like they're not the only 2, but they have all positive WAR ratings for base running, offense, and defense. That always kind of gets me going a little bit.
Ha-Seong Kim, All-Star or no?
Like, do I think he's going to make the All-Star team, or do I want him on the All-Star team?
Do you think he will make the All-Star team?
Maybe he just wants to go on the boat with India.
Yeah.
I could see that. All right, we're doing it.
3.
This is if we think he's going to make the team.
If we think he's going to make the All-Star team. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
I think we both went thumbs up. I think, again, we just talked about that committee or whatever. I think tapping into that Korean market, I think while being deserving. While being deserved.
The fact that he can play multiple positions, I think will lend... I mean, I know the game doesn't mean anything anymore, and it really shouldn't. When it was determining home field advantage for the World Series, what were we thinking right there?
We weren't.
Do people know what goes on in these All-Star games? Okay, I like it.
Give us
He's having a great year.
Yep, there's 10 more.
He's had great years.
That was the number 1 caller, huh? Padres fans, they're big.
Hey guys, Red Sox fan here. I'm calling to say that Alex Verdugo has probably been one of the more overlooked all-star candidates for AL outfielders. He's second in average, second in OBP, and 5th in OPS, and tied for second in WAR amongst AL outfielders, not including Yordan Alvarez, who's only played like 20 games in the outfield. So, yeah, I think he should be an outfielder. Hasn't been talked about that much outside of the Red Sox circle, if you ask me. So he's been a big catalyst for our offense, which has been hot. So, and even played some unexpectedly good defense. So I would go with Verdugo. Thanks.
It's a good one, Trev, because I know I feel like Verdugo gets like the briefest mention on our all JM teams, but he hasn't been in the same class of, some of the Trouts or Judge when he was healthy. I love Verdugo's game. This again becomes the number crunch, and as I look, there's a way, there's a path, but I don't know.
This is going to be the first time we talk about Toronto's influence on the All-Star game, because Kevin Kiermaier he's in the finalist voting right now, and I love KK, and by the way, his legs are incredible this year. They're just massive. I don't know where that came from. He's always been diesel, but this is different. So he could sneak in and get a spot, dude. That's what those Canadians do up there. They like to vote. Love that for them. Verdugo is having a great year, like our caller mentioned. And right now I have Fangraphs up. I have it sorted to AL outfielders, and he is 5th in WAR. This doesn't include Yordan Alvarez, but the guys in front of him, Luis Robert, Adolis Garcia, Randy Arozarena, and Mike Trout. So if you're going by, this means something when you're mentioned with these guys and your WAR is up there, plus the stats that he has right now, 856 OPS, 129 OPS plus, and we love batting average is back, people.
Yes.
307 AV. So it's not the sexiest name in the outfield group, but is he deserving? I would say yes.
I think he gets in. I think the other thing he has working for him, they mentioned like Yordan. I think Yordan might be coming back, but he hasn't played a lot. That I think he taps out of the All-Star game. That's kind of Astros have had a little bit of a history of that. Judge won't be ready for the All-Star game, so he's out. So I think you take out those two pillars, and I think Verdugo is kind of easy in there. So yeah, I love it. And man, Verdugo's a great personality. He's an awesome hitter to watch. And there was still a little bit because he had was it a bad first half last year that it was people started doing like Mookie Betts trade again. You know, Verdugo's really good.
He didn't have a good year. He didn't have a great year last year.
No.
With a 732 OPS.
He had a really bad first half.
That's down in T. Plouffe territory. So let's
hey,
you know.
Big T. Plouffe day, huh? Immaculate grid, Trev.
Yeah, that's nice. If they ever put like a 40 double Twins or Phillies,
yeah,
hottest wife in the game.
Yes,
you can use me, people.
Every day. Verdugo in? I'm yes.
I think he's in. Thumbs up.
That's awesome, Matt. We just yes.
Well,
everyone.
Who's okay? Real quick. who would be the other Red Sox representative?
Let's see. Turner's having a pretty good year. Man.
Oh, Yoshi.
Yoshida. I think the numbers like Verdugo over Yoshida. Devers is always going to have a case. And then maybe like a Ken.
I'm really surprised Yoshida's not in the AL outfield like finalist group.
I mean, war-wise, he doesn't do well because the defense is bad.
But isn't this fan vote? I would just expect that to happen when you come over from Japan. You have the support of the people, like and especially the WBC he had and everything. Like obviously, he's a very well-known commodity out there. I would expect him to be in the finals, but he's not.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. The other thing that's a good point is bird dogs, Trev. I've been screaming from the mountaintops about these shorts. I told Sales yesterday, I was like, I'm loading up. I'm doing it. Bird dogs are going to be my go-to because I look good in them. I feel good in them. And Trev, you know the part I like, the versatility, a little Ha-Seong Kim. I can wear them to the gym. You know I'm there.
Always.
This morning. Whoops. Can wear them to work. You know I'm there. Always.
Not today.
This morning. Not today. Maybe later. You can wear them out. A little happy hour, your bird doggies, and traveling. That's where I like to be the most comfortable, and that's where Bird Dogs has won me over. So get yourself a pair of Bird Dogs, birddogs.com/talkin, and you get a free Yeti-style tumbler. Your legs are feeling good. Your drink is feeling good at birddogs.com/talkin. Joe, go click the link in the description.
You do look good in Bird Dogs. I think I told Olivia today I'm gonna start squatting again. I've been doing a lot of kettlebell stuff. It's been fun. Like I haven't really done that a lot. So when I started doing it, I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like interesting to me. Different body movements, different motions. But if you want a big dumper, you got to squat, bro.
I wonder if there's a big dumper caller. Who do we got next, Beebs?
What is up, gents? Evan here, big-time Reds fan. Wanted to call in and highlight that I think Alexis Diaz is the underrated all-star from the Reds. I think particularly over the last couple of weeks with the winning streak, the offense, and some of the flashy new players have gotten a lot of attention, whether it's Elly De La Cruz or Joey Votto's return. But looking at Alexis Diaz, he has put together an amazing, incredible season so far. And he also, watching a lot of their games, operates from a very anxiety-inducing bend but don't break kind of place. He'll give up doubles, he'll give up runs, but in the end, he gets the job done. It's been awesome to see him work. So thanks for the great podcast. Keep up the good work, guys. Jake sucks.
Oh. Trev, I feel like this is a quick one.
Yeah, I'm thumbs up in Alexis Diaz for sure.
Right?
No doubt about it. I mean, he's leading the NL relievers in WAR according to the Fangraphs page right now, ahead of guys like David Bednar, Josh Hader. Tanner Scott maybe should have got a call.
Woo!
Jake Bird, my boy Jake. But the leader of them all, and a massive part of this resurgence. I took a question from C Rose on Baseball Today about that. He said, who's like an unsung hero on the Reds that we should be talking about? You know, we know some of the guys on that team, and we kind of give a lot of glory there. But who's the person that should be like most responsible for this, or maybe is most responsible for this? You got to have a lockdown closer. You do, man. And I said what on that episode. I said, look, when you have a young team like the Reds do, and you have leads, and then bullpen blows leads, it can be disheartening and become disheartening and spiral very quickly. So to be able to have a guy back there that you can rely on, and you know, maybe it is bend but don't break, but he gets the job done. To me, this is a no-brainer.
By the way, bend but don't break. The guy's whip is 1 flat and his ERA is 1.85. So sometimes we set the bar for our closers in a crazy lane, and this guy's almost been perfect this season. So yeah, he's an instant in for me. I know they were real careful with him last year, so I wonder if he, you know, the first place Reds, maybe they go Astros and a couple people chuck up the deuces. I'm not doing it. But also, how about back in Seattle where Big Bro pitched? I don't know. I kind of like him coming in for the save and kind of wraps up the perfect Reds first half. And it's like Alexis Diaz in the Cincinnati Reds. He's in.
Second in the National League in saves, behind. Don't look.
I know Class A in the AL.
Good call. I mean, you love this pitcher.
Is it Doval?
Yes.
I mean, that NL comes out with some Doval Diaz to wind me. Whew.
You're going to be so hammered by that part of the game. You're going to be screaming for these guys.
I'm going to be showing people my pitches like Doval. Do I look like him? No, man.
I could see you doing that.
Your arms are half the length of his.
Yeah, half.
Next.
Whoa. Nice. Might be the biggest name on this list.
All right, so for my underrated all-star, I'm a Phillies fan, and Bryce Harper has been the one that everyone's voting for, but personally, I don't think Harper deserves it. I mean, he always deserves it. He's an MVP. But I think Nick Castellanos deserves it. He's batting .313 with about 300 plate appearances this season or at-bats. He has 9 home runs, and his OPS is .849. And he's done a complete 180 from last season. So I think if anybody on the Phillies deserves to represent them at the All-Star game this year, I truly wholeheartedly believe it's Nick Castellanos.
I love Nick Castellanos. Played against him for a long time when he was at third baseman with the bad cleats. The outfield finalists in the NL. Mookie Betts, he's in. Corbin Carroll, he's in. Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
It's gonna be close.
We'll see. Gonna be close. We think he deserves it. We're just talking strictly from, is he gonna get in perspective? Right. And then Michael Harris II, who missed a lot of time.
Just crazy. That's some Braves
BS.
That's some Braves BS.
But we have to understand that this is how the system works, right? Let me look it up. Because Castellanos is having a great season. It is a great bounce back season. It is a great story. 312 right now, have him on Baseball Reference for the 845 OPS. We know defensively, he's never going to wow you out there. Except didn't he made some good catches out there. I don't know.
This is an interesting one because it kind of wasn't on my radar. It was like, oh, Castellanos is having a good year. This one kind of has me in the spin cycle because who is going for the Phillies? Like, it looks like Wheeler and Nola are kind of options. Hard
Harper's short on playing time.
Harper didn't play. Trey Turner had one of his worst stretches of baseball ever. Schwarbo, when he hits it, it's a homer, but otherwise he's like not hitting it. That I kind of like this. And by the way, you mentioned Castellanos, or a young third base Castellanos with bad cleats. Guess what? He joins Jose Siri on the I don't give a fuck team. I'm out here to ball. And
he's like a sneaky hot boy.
Yes. You see,
like chicks like him. He's tall. He's got that he's got real confidence.
Confidence.
The South Florida confidence thing is a real thing.
Yes.
And now you got me looking who's going to be the representative there. We got some guys in the bullpen for the Phillies that have been dialed.
How about Dirty Craig Kimbrell? What's that about?
Huh.
Andrew Vasquez, his numbers are stupid.
Still twirling it.
Something just stuck out to me. This would only be Castellanos' second All-Star game. Feels light for what he's been.
All right, I got the Fangraphs page up, NL outfielders, and he is 16th in WAR. He gets docked a lot for his defense. Not a terrific base runner. He rakes. That's what this guy does. It's going to be difficult. If we're talking about is he going to make this team? I'm probably going to say
I think it's no. I think it's no. I think there's a lot of bodies, and we haven't gotten to if you just go offense alone, because again, sometimes defensive metrics can be out there. Fangraphs has him as the 11th best hitter, and a couple guys ahead of him, like Lane Thomas. I don't know where our Nats are at for their All-Star representative, but it has Lane Thomas ahead of him. Yelly, Happer. These are guys that are a little bit more mainstays that by some of the metrics are liked more offensively, that I think, hey, maybe he has a bang-up next 2 weeks that elevates him and there's an injury or two. But unfortunately, I think this is my first. I don't see the easy path for Castellanos getting there.
So you need 2 outfielders at each position. So I guess it's 6.
Minimum
and
6.
Then let's just call it Sev.
Yeah.
Just because we know there's going to be extra ones.
Hurt.
Plus guys are going to back out. So you're talking now you're getting into the 9 and 10th range, and he's right there.
Yeah. This one's tight. I guess the other ones, even Ha-Seong Kim, which is a tough one and we didn't have a great answer for, I see an easier path for him than Castellanos. Not saying it doesn't happen, but
this committee, I got to know who's on the committee.
Who's on this committee? Should we be on this committee?
Beavers, can you look up who's on the committee? Because I think that'll help me, decipher their decisions. Because do they value
it's largely a player vote.
The player vote is
I think the player vote has more weight now.
Here's the thing with player
I'll look
vote.
into it.
Here's the thing with player vote. As much as you want to think the players are just in there dissecting stats up, they're not. You get a package you get a little packet on your chair, and hey, got to fill these out and return them by whatever. So
Trev, not to be dumb, but does it even come with stats or is it just names?
They're stats.
Okay.
But do you know who players are really focused on? Themselves.
Yes.
They're trying to navigate a baseball season.
Or maybe their buddy they train with in the offseason.
Exactly. Buddies, names that they know, look, you're not going to know a lot of the younger guys. I don't know if Lane Thomas is going to get a ton of love across the league, or James Outman or Joey Weimer. These are guys that are ahead of Nick Castellanos on the WAR page here for Fangraphs.
I have the update. So fan vote is for the starters. We've been on that. The rest of the rosters are filled out by the player's ballot and the commissioner's office.
Mm.
So those two combined.
Kind of sick of the commissioner's office right now, if I have to be honest with people on our show.
Yeah.
And I have my reasons. God,
So
just
points
praised
to
him
Ha-Seong
so
Kim.
much. I think that I'm leaning yes then for Castellanos, because he's been around the league. He's got a lot of friends around the league. He's a good teammate. I'm going to put a thumbs up for him. I think he sneaks in there, and I think he should.
Okay. I think our first mild disagreement. One thing that you and I don't disagree on, Trev, it's Blue Moon.
Yeah.
Summer's here. Full tilt.
4th of July around the corner.
4th of July. I've got, big NASCAR weekend for myself if you think I'm not putting down a couple Blue Moons. Blue Moons goes with summer. It goes with sports. It goes especially with baseball. It was brewed in Coors Field where Kelsey Wingert's Rocks play. And that Valencia orange peel, it's the difference maker. It's the utility infielder. It's that extra commissioner's office vote that makes you an all-star. Blue Moon is not just another beer. It's a whole different experience. And why don't you experience it at home? Get.bluemoonbeer.com/baseball. If you can't remember that one, I can't help you. Get.bluemoonbeer.com/baseball. Find your Blue Moon delivery options. Get it delivered right to your home. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Co. Golden, Colorado. Miss it out there. There's a link in the description. Might have a Blue Moon later.
Sounds delicious.
All right, so I got a name for you guys. How about Braxton Garrett? Bro's been a beast for the Marlins rotation all season. He's been arguably their best pitcher. And although his ERA is maybe like 3.64, that really only got lifted up because of this one start to the Braves where he got left in for like 5 innings, giving up 11 runs. So that kind of blurs his stats. But if you've been watching all his starts, he's been so consistent. He keeps racking up all the fucking strikeouts. So I would vote him as the Marlins' best pitcher this year. Maybe Perez too, but he only has like 8 games. But I would say Braxton Garrett for sure.
Electric phone call. Thanks for calling
Nobody
in.
say he's racking up all the fucking strikeouts.
Thanks for calling in, Dalton.
This is Dalton's guy.
That was Dalton with an accent. Trev, this one's so tricky, and sometimes I'm not good at being the bad guy, but I think that one blow-up start is going to hurt you, and there's just so many pitchers that I don't know. I don't know. I love what Braxton Garrett's done this year, and you're right. If you take that one start out, it's an incredible, and I think we're having more conversations about it, but I think that's where, and our Jimmer is on this sometimes, sometimes the All-Star game's a little ridiculous because it's basically how is your first half, and now like we've just talked about with some of the commissioner's office and stuff, there's a lot of other variables that Braxton Garrett's fighting uphill right now.
So prior to the 11 earned runs against Atlanta, that was May 3rd. He had a 2.45 ERA with a 2.67 FIP. That's very, very good. After that, so you have that one start, reset. How do I get out of this? I'm so bad at navigating.
After that, it's a 2.50 ERA.
What's the FIP though?
2.24 FIP.
He's deserving if you take out that one start, but he has the start. That's where it kind of lies. And then again, if you're not going to get voted in by the fans, player polls, commissioner's office, what the commissioner's office wants. They want names and eyeballs on the sport.
They're covered on
so
a
that's
Marlin.
That's the way they're going to lean. And then players will do a little bit better of a job than that, where they'll just say, hey, like this guy's deserving. Let's look at the stats, but also, do I know this guy? Like, what kind of teammate is he? Have I heard good things about him? All those things come into play with the players. What's tricky, though, about the pitching position is when do these, the guys that get voted in, when do they throw last? Because they have to be able to pitch in the All-Star
You're
game.
losing,
A lot. So I don't want to say no for sure on this, because this is probably this is the position where there's going to be so many All-Stars, but only, however many, 12 are actually going to play in the game. There might be 20 guys or 24 guys total. So
You see it every year.
Is he a top 24 starter or pitcher in the National League? I guess is the question we're going to ask.
Top 24
right. I guess that's kind of like what we have to go on.
That's a big number. I think I'd mentally I think
it's lower than that.
I think 15. Because let me read off some names to you. Your boy Bryce Elder.
I know that, but I'm saying a lot of these guys that are going to pitch, it just takes them out of action for the game. So they're going to be all-stars still, but they can't pitch, so their spot gets taken from them. They're still designated all-stars, but it adds on to the list.
There's that. There's if you're a young pitcher on a pitch limit, the team is just going to say no, and like you're saying, you still get that all-star, nod in theory, but I like Yuri Perez. If he gets tapped into the All-Star game, I think the Fish step in and we're a playoff team. We're not having this guy throw one inning in a game that doesn't matter in Seattle. But I still think you think Marcus Stroman doesn't want to be on that mound? You think Zach Gallen, as these guys are building up their brands in free agency, never mind to go along with big pitching seasons. I don't know. I don't know.
That's a question for you. If you are Marcus Stroman,
and
you're doing it, and you get named an all-star, are you really gonna pitch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. If I've got my pending free agency and I know if I go out on that all-star mound and I throw 2 innings clean,
but you don't have to. You don't have to do that. You're already doing it when it matters.
But Trev, sometimes this comes down to easier stuff than we think about sometimes. The right owner watches that, and Stroman's a free agent, and he's like,
no, I don't.
Not even watches that, but
that's ridiculous.
He's able to say he's a 2-time All-Star that we're bringing in versus one.
Yeah, but you can be an All-Star and not pitch in the game, is what I'm saying.
That's true.
You still get the designation. You still get the little cool thing on the top of your baseball reference page. I'm telling you right now, I know guys take insurance policies out there, and there's all that. And Stroman's already made, I think, $100 million. But he's in line to make a lot more if he stays healthy this year. I don't know. That's it. For me, I would say, hey, bro, give me the all-star nod. Let one of the young dudes come in and let him pitch. That's like a win-win. I get the nod. I get to go
if you get
for 3 days.
Stroman might start, though. You start the all-star game. There's a lot of eyes on that event.
How many games? How many all-stars has he made?
He has his own.
Be his second.
He has his own apparel company. I think that's.
Stroman's not a great example here, by the way, because he definitely is a guy that loves being on a stage like that. He loves the moments, and he thrives in them. He's said that himself. So I guess that's the wrong example. But Braxton Garrett, yes or no?
I lean no. I see a lot of names right now, and I think if MLB is really getting involved, I think they try to tap on Yuri Perez first. They might even depending how baby Jesus' starts go. I don't know. There's also some other is Josiah Gray your national? He's having a pretty good year. That there's options. You think Snell's gonna turn down that Pacific Northwest invite?
No.
Bump day?
He might start just because of that.
He needs a couple more good ones. I think Stroman's taking the pill.
With the Rise getting for sure in the game one way or another, I don't know if the commissioner's office is trying to squeeze another Marlin in there with Jazz not an option.
I don't know. I mean, they're doing it this year.
They're doing it, but
Michael
and you
Wacha,
want Miami to be they want them to show up to the ballpark. And you know what people in Miami like? Stars.
Michael Wacha with a 2.9.
Player of the month.
Hey, Braxton Garrett puts together a couple double-digit punchy starts leading in. He's got a chance, but it's tough.
He's on the board.
It's tough. Good for him getting involved. I don't even know how much of a shout-out he got in their TPP this year, so good for Braxton Garrett.
I didn't give my answer.
What do you got, Trev?
I want you to make it, Braxton. And I hope some veteran dishes it off to you. But logically thinking a numbers game and all this stuff that we just talked about, I think it's going to be tough.
Jordan Montgomery trade deadline contract year. I don't know.
Joe Mauer always used to say, do the All-Star game once. That's what he used to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm laughing right now because, who's third in NL ERA? Clayton Kershaw. If I'm Kershaw, my God, thanks. See you after the break.
It's not in Texas or LA.
Yeah.
Zach Gallen hasn't made one yet. He'll go.
Gallen's trying to get that start, too. I mean, a guy that's, I think, a year and a half away from free agency. Get the brand up a little bit. Also one of the best pitchers in baseball. I don't know.
It should be on more graphics.
Zach Gallen, I think, is a year away from sneaky hot.
Okay.
He'll be someone's type.
Okay.
I think that year older and knowing the payday's coming, I think he's going to walk. He already walks.
Snakeskin belt, though?
Give it, Beebs.
Teammate of Stroman coming up.
Jake indeed does suck. Hey, boys, what's going on? So I got a Chicago Cubs representative here for you. Underlooked, and relievers are very limited in their all-star selections, but Adbert Alzolay has been incredible for the Cubs this year. No flashy strikeout numbers, but you look at his baseball savant, it's bleeding red. Among qualified relievers in the National League, he's third in walk to 9. He's tied for 7th in ERA with a 1.85, and he's 8th and 5th with a 2.53. Former starter, really revolutionized his career in the bullpen this year. He talked about how he's been able to use his pitches more effectively. He won't make it in, but I just want to give him an honorable shout-out here. Jake sucks. Thanks.
How about that? Wanted to give him a shout-out. Jake sucks. Interesting. Yeah, I think they have to take at least 4 relievers, and when you're talking, you have to be so good as not a traditional closer to make it that I don't know. I appreciate the caller, and I think they got what they wanted. But like you mentioned, Tanner Scott, he's racking up WAR. The ERA is actually not that pretty. Does Jake Bird get a Rockies bid? Bednar, Diaz, Hader, Doval. It's a really tough ask to get a non-traditional closer in there. I see you
eating banana.
I see you eating your banana over there.
And my webpage froze. I've never had that happen to me before on this setup. So
okay,
I'm back now.
It's good.
No, his numbers are crazy. You got to mention them all. He's got a .853 WHIP, and 4 relievers make the team. That's it.
I think it can be more. I think it's a minimum of 4.
I think it's typically more.
Hey, the caller set it up this way, so I don't want to be raining on a parade. He's got a chance. The different ways you can cut up the numbers, he's got a chance, but I haven't mentioned Devin Williams yet. He's got a 1.69 ERA. I mentioned Hader briefly. He's sitting at 1.26.
I'm looking at these game logs for Alzolay here, and he is nasty.
Your guy, David Robertson. Trev?
Yes. There's not many guys on that team that are going to be representatives. Was it Nimmo's having a good year? Robertson's having a good year. ... Alzolay, man.
Maybe Tommy Hunter comes back.
No, they DFA'd him, bro. It's tough. Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be an uphill battle for him to make it. And I hope, this is what I really hope. I hope the Cubs go on a magical run before said All-Star break. It's still there for the taking.
It is.
And he has been a huge part of it. And there's other guys, like, is Justin Steele going to make the All-Star team?
That's where I thought the call was going. And
the year that he's had.
He's got a discussion. I know he got banged up recently. He feels
3.5
I don't know
games
how underrated
back.
he is at this point.
Feels like a yes but no. Like, accept
3.5
invite.
games back right now. Oh, man.
Your guy Pete Crow Armstrong just flew up the top prospect ratings.
He'll be there for the Futures game.
Futures game. I don't know.
Dude, this guy's numbers are sick.
What was the phrase the caller used there? The baseball savant is dripping red?
Dripping with red.
Like that.
We're going to be
gotta go to
that.
I got to go to it now.
All right, let's get Trev's instant reaction to Adbert Alzolay's Baseball Savant. This is why you people tune in on the YouTube.
What is going on?
Oh, no. Wi-Fi issues at MC Studios?
No, I don't know. What the fuck? Okay, we're back. Okay. Baseball Savant.
Yes.
Adbert Alzolay. Great name, by the way.
It's a great name.
Yeah, that's bonus points.
Here it is. It's popping. Oh, shit, bro.
We're dripping red.
There ain't no blue. It's not cold at all. It's hot.
Okay.
You want me to read it off?
I would read off a couple things, yeah. I think
Okay, how about some important ones like hard hit percentage, 98th percentile, expected ERA with expected WOBA, 98%, barrel percentage, 93rd percentile, expected slug, 96th percentile, walk percentage, 94th percentile. And the K percentage is 80th percentile. So it's not like he's not K'ing people. I don't know why he said there's no fancy strikeout numbers. Average exively, though, 84th percentile. It's all red. It's dripping. Sexy. 28 years old.
I guess here's what I want the Talking Baseball to take away. If Adbert ends up there, awesome. Deserved and awesome. That's Cubs pitching. We had a lot of question marks coming into this season. Cubs fans, not as much, and a little credit to them. Stroman, Steele, Adbert, Leiter Jr. They're getting some efforts out there. Trev, I know you just said it, but however they come into the break, that is going to be interesting because they.
No, they're saying they're not. They're saying they're buyers, which
Good.
is okay. Let's do it. Show me them.
I think their last series going into the All-Star break is at the New York Yankees.
Ooh, girl, great. Easy win.
So they'll be fucking fine. Next.
Give Jeter a nut tap right there. Come on. It's right there.
Hey, John Boy Media, it's Troy John. I'm a big Minnesota Twins fan, and we are probably the most mid-baseball team this season. There's one guy that has shocked everyone and has been a really nice addition to the Twins bullpen, and that is Brock Stewart. In just 25 games, he pitched 25 and 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs, a .70 ERA, 610 ERA plus. His FIP, 2.45, so he's kind of feeling better than under expectations, but he's a 31-year-old journeyman reliever, last pitched in 2016, I think. He hasn't pitched in a while at the big league level, but he's a really nice story and an otherwise pretty mediocre Twins bullpen outside him and Yohan Duran. I generally think the Twins should have 4 all-star pitchers this season, and Brock Stewart should be one of them.
I'm a Brock Stewart guy. I think I believed in Brock Stewart before Brock Stewart even believed in himself. The first time I saw him throw the ball, I said, okay, this guy's got it. I'm trying to get his baseball savant. I want to see how dripping it is. But no, his stuff is nasty. He's got like a kind of like a cross body action, throws the ball really hard with a really good slider. Rocco's used him in all sorts of different situations this year. He's given up a few, like he gave a homer, a grand slam, I believe, to Altuve. Not all of his runs, so people remember that. But mostly he's just gone in and just put out fires left and right. The numbers are there. They're great. And the story is fun. Like he was out of the game for a while, signed back with the Dodgers as like a starter. They couldn't figure him out, I guess. But then he came over to the Twins, and he's just been great. 94th percentile on fastball spin, so the thing's just got a little bit of ride to it. He's really good locating it. So he's got like plus stuff, and he locates. I like him. I worked out with him in Tampa, man. Off day in Tampa. I flew in there. Go to the gym, 'cause that's what I do. Only guy in there, other than me, Brock Stewart.
Wow.
We started talking. And I said, hey, man, I've been telling Rocco every chance I get, you need to be in high leverage situations. And now he's really found himself. He's probably the number 2 option out of that bullpen right now. And there's been this guy. It's not such a mid bullpen. There's some guys there that can do some things. Griffin Jacks has had like 1 or 2 bad outings, but he's been really good for the most part. And then we obviously know what Duran can do. Duran will be in the All-Star game, I believe. How could you not have a guy like that in there? It's gonna be tough for Brock Stewart to get in. That's the bottom line. So I'll probably vote no on this one. Is he an all-star caliber pitcher? Yes, this year he is. He's nasty. Have you seen him pitch? Like, have you?
I have not watched
in there. Did he get in there against the Yanks?
No. And he's on the IL right now. Trev just, sometimes I'm a basic B. 0.70 ERA and 25.2 for Brock Stewart.
No, he's great. And a super nice guy. Like I said, it's going to be very tough for him to get in there, though.
I will say this. One of the things I do, if we did a pile of what do we like about the All-Star game, what do we dislike about the All-Star game, I like when, because we're talking about pitchers dropping out, and we're talking, sometimes the fan vote gets funky, and Kamishov is. If 3 Twins pitchers show up at the All-Star game, and I don't know the record for Twins pitchers at an All-Star game, I think there's a chance 3 could be it. That's kind of cool. Like, that should be highlighted from this Twins season because their pitching has been electric.
Sonny Gray is going to be on the team. Who knows if he'll go? Like, he's one of those guys that'll probably be like, I'm not so sure. He's got a family, wants the time off. Joe Ryan got freaking touched up yesterday. I gave Peter more than the scouting report yesterday. It's a broadcast.
No.
Us broadcasters, we give information back and forth. I just told him, low arm angle gets the deception. He's got good spin efficiency, not good spin rate. How about that? Learned his changeup from a Twitter video about Kevin Gausman. Went to Driveline, fixed some things.
Joe Ryan, my only concern is he might be on the sex boat with India and JSO.
So I think he's more of like a go hiking.
Oh, okay.
Trip. Yeah.
They drop him off the boat. He goes hikes for the day.
Yeah, he like climbs the volcano. And,
yeah. Okay.
So those 2 could be, and then Duran, and then that's probably it from that team. It's going to make it. So I love you, Brock Stewart, but
Bailey Ober with that 2.97 ERA, Trev? What's that about?
The nightmare? 6'9"?
I bet.
You and him stand next to each other will be just like the classic Altuve Judge.
Yeah, what was I dreading the other day? Everything. Life.
Life.
Oh, Corbin Burns came in, and he actually on the tall monster scale, it's not as crazy as you'd think, so that was okay. I did dread seeing someone that's just too tall. Maybe I'll remember who it is, but me and Bailey Ober, that'd be all the kids would get their chuckles there.
Oh, I'm sorry to bring that up.
It's okay. I don't think about it. I am starting to get a lot of Instagram posts of people that are getting the leg extension surgery. So maybe if this company gets off the damn ground, 6 foot Talkin Jake, you don't want that. Your girl doesn't want that.
Oh my God.
You can't handle that.
You wouldn't be Jake.
I think we got 1 or 2 more left, and it's brought to you by Shady Rays. Shady Rays, I just threw mine on. I think they're going to be involved in our All-Star stuff, and they're going to be involved anyways because the sun's going to be shining. Summer is here, and Shady Rays, they are a world-class product that is at a world-class price in a good way. Affordable, and they're lifelong, baby. They got their lost and broken placement guarantee. You lose them, you break them, you get the same pair back. No questions asked. I've had a couple people that they were like, I was kind of scared to reach out. Because we all are. It's kind of human nature, right? To be like, hey guys, I lost and broke my sunnies. Can you get me a new pair? And then you're dreading the like, okay, what was your order number? Can you tell? What date did you buy it on? And you got those receipts? The hassle is nothing. Shady Rays, you get sunnies for life, and with code TALKIN at shadyrays.com, you get 50% off 2+ pairs of premium polarized shades. Get yourself a couple pairs, get you a pair and a loved one, get a ton of pairs. And we're with Shady Rays. We got a couple more big things coming with them, so get yours today.
Nice job. My boy Jake. 2 more?
What's up, fellas? I just can't believe that Josh Naylor of the Cleveland Guardians is not getting the love he deserves. Second in the AL in average among first basemen. Only Diaz is above him. I mean, the man's driving in runs. I just can't believe how the counting stats don't have him. He's got 57 RBIs, most among AL first basemen. I mean, I just don't get it. 10 home runs, 15 doubles, 74 hits. I mean, the OPS at 801, that's good for fourth. I mean, I just don't get what people saw. He finished ninth in the first round and didn't get past to phase 2. I think he's underrated.
Wow. Hard cut. Yeah, Trev, I remember when we, a couple episodes ago, they were like, he was the first Guardians first baseman since Jim Tomei to have like 50 RBIs through 70 games or whatever it was at the time. And he's been, the Guardians have started hitting a little bit, and he's been a big part of that. First base gets a little tricky. Yandy's going to be there in some fashion, whether he gets the fan vote or not. You mentioned Toronto. They've been stuffing the ballot a little bit, and that's where this committee kicks in. If it's Vlad Jr. and Naylor, I feel like I know where the committee's vote is going, but I don't necessarily love that.
So right now the finalists are Yandy and Vladdy.
Yes.
Let's just say, I mean, dude, the thing about that is Vladdy can end up winning that.
Yeah. Right now,
still a fan vote.
Right now,
still a fan vote.
Right now, Yandy's got that 54-46 lead I mentioned before.
Oh, those are two. Okay. Then I'm going to give it to Yandy. I think they can skew the results if they want to. I don't know if you know that.
Who checks?
Kind of happens here.
The world's not
Yandy's
real.
In simulation. I've been watching too much Black Mirror, bro.
Oh, did you watch that, Aaron Paul? I haven't watched it yet, but
I watched that.
Everyone's been hitting me up, and they're like, it's the most fucked up one, and I'm pretty hyped for that.
I just watched it last night. I woke up this morning, gave my wife a hug, and I said, I watched some weird shit last night.
Jesus, that's awesome.
Yeah. So watch it, and then just have the reaction. Naylor, okay, first of all, didn't know he had 57 ribbies. That's legit, bro. Like, do your thing. Like, you're on your way to 100, and 100 is, if you get 100 RBI in a big league season, like, freaking, that's like getting knighted, dude. Like, that's the gold standard. You know what else he leads first baseman in? Stolen bases.
Oh.
Like, that means something to me, man. I don't know. It's going to be difficult for him. Nate Lowe, settler name.
Yeah.
Gonna get in there. He's going to get in there. The season he's having, people know the name. He's going to get in there. And then after that, it gets a little interesting. Like, if you say Yandy and Nate Lowe are the two, and then you say you want to add a third, who do you go to? After that is, as far as WAR and Fangraphs, it's Brandon Drury, who, like, he kind of, I don't know if you designate him a first baseman. How many games has he played at first base? I watched the Angels play.
A ton. I feel like he's always at second or.
Yeah, he's kind of moving around a lot. Beavers, can you look up how many games he's played at first base?
Trev, I'm gonna.
And then you have the Noda guy.
I was gonna throw the Noda wrench.
And who could be their representative? Now I have to go to their page. Now I'm going to the A's page.
The A's,
two candidates.
I think it's Noda and Esturi. Or someone else.
Brent Rooker. The overall number's still around there, and they need somebody. Both him and Nola have cooled off. But
I mean, they have identical OPSs right now, 800 and 800.
Josh Naylor, 50 games at first, 18 as a DH.
What about, Drury?
Oh, Drury.
Yeah, I mean, man, so the Oakland A's wrench, we've landed here that it feels like Noda, Ruiz, or Rooker are going to end up on this team. And that's going to take a spot from someone else.
Drury's 36 games at first, 57 at second. That's total appearances. I can look at starts.
Been playing.
Okay.
He's there.
Yeah, they move around people too in that.
Yeah. He has 23 starts at first, 47 starts.
So many teams do that so much because they want to be like the Dodgers from a couple years ago, where it's like, Or Muncy can play anywhere, and Chris Taylor can play anywhere. And it's like, don't do that if you don't have Chris Taylor and Max Muncy a couple years ago.
Like, if you do that, like, and for the Twins, it's Willie Castro who just moves everywhere. Alex Kirilloff will go from like first base to like a corner outfield spot, but Willie Castro will go from second to third to center. He's played everywhere except I believe catcher and first base. He's even pitched. Like, those guys, you know, like, they don't get paid the way they should get paid.
Yeah.
Like, if you can move around and be like a positive defensive player, you should be getting absolutely paid for what you do. They don't, though. I think Noda's going to get the nod for the A's.
Leading the AL in walks.
He's leading their team in WAR. Rooker's really come down, man. I didn't know he's kind of fallen off that much. Gosh, that looked like a slam dunk at the beginning of the year, didn't it?
Yeah, I think May was tough. June, at least early in the month, was looking a little better, but yeah.
I got it up right here. We got in April, March, a 1.2, in May, a 6.16, and June, a 5.93.
Oh, June got worse, huh?
So I think Noda might get it for them. And that's like, you've mentioned this before, a classic A's first baseman.
Yeah, man. Draws some walks. Thick as all hell. I remember I said that after seeing them live.
Are we going to get any pitchers from their team?
No.
The other two guys are legit enough that we don't need to give JP Sears an honorary all-star.
I mean, Ruiz is the one that pops off for me. I mean, the guy's got 40 swipes. He could be at 50 steals. And if we're doing an all-star game, like who's your best stolen base guy, I think he's got an interesting argument. Negative WAR.
Negative WAR and the hitting.
Whoever gets in, we've got a good Jolly Olive video coming in a couple weeks. So, God.
What's his name?
Jolly Olive. It's up in Maine right now. Sex.
Oh, is Jonathan India medium there?
I think so. I think the boat starts up there. It does a little Caribbean tour.
I need someone to like clip this or just answer in the comments. Joe Ryan, Jonathan India.
Yeah.
You get to pick one.
Oh.
Who are you picking? Who's hotter? Who are you going on the boat with?
Two boats. Two boats are leaving the port.
The universal truth is, in my experience, girls love boats. Put Jonathan India or Joe Ryan on a boat.
Oh.
Who are you picking, Jay?
Girls really like boats then. I think I'm going India. I think me and him would bop a little harder. It's not a shot at Joe Ryan. Again, this is a win-win situation, right? But I think India's got a little more don't give a F to him that I think me and him would have a weird day on the boat. Where I think at one point Joe Ryan tells me to chill out a little bit. I think Joe Ryan's like, whoa, bad. I think Joe's like, hey, little guy, let's bring it down a notch.
I don't think you would get that from him. But okay. I mean, look, your answer's your own, bro.
Right. What about you?
I haven't spent enough time around Jonathan India. I spent some time around old Joe Ryan. I like his vibe.
Okay.
Him and I vibe. We vibe.
I don't doubt it.
I feel like we go fishing right away, catch our fish. We're going to cook this up. I think we make like a nice meal together on the boat.
Yeah, see, I think Joe Ryan, he's like, Jake, it's time we're going to catch some fish.
Clean the fish.
Yeah, clean the fish. And I'm going to be like, pee in the fish and be like, ah. And he's like, Jake, stop. You suck, dude.
Stinks.
Let's,
Last one.
Buck 10, let's do one more. You pick it, Beebs.
What's up, guys? It's Alex from Colorado, here to pitch Ryan McMahon. We don't have a lot to root for as Rockies fans, but McMahon's been pretty sweet this year. He's got, I think last time I checked, 2.5 B-WAR, which is tops of all the third basemen in the NL. He's batting .263. He's got an .830 OPS, and I think in the last 30 games he's close to 1 dot, and then just killing it. nothing else to root for the Rockies but him and Elias Diaz and trading for nobodies. Peace, guys.
Oh,
jeez. This is a tough one, bro. NL third baseman. You'd think you got some guys there.
yeah.
Like NL third baseman. You used to think, hey, I got Nolan Arenado. Hey, I got Chris Bryant back in the day. Hey, I got Justin Turner there. Max Muncy doing his thing there. He's doing all right this year. But if you look at the Fangraphs third baseman, NL right now, you know who's leading it?
I do.
A Washington National. Jamer.
Careful
I
with
said
that.
Jamer.
Bleep
I
that
can't have a
out.
nickname for him?
Yeah, you can.
JD Davis and then Ryan McMahon. Austin Riley. Huh.
Do you know who the fan vote is down to?
I mean, yes, I don't. I'm going to go Austin Riley.
Correct.
And then the second NL third baseman, is it Machado?
Arenado.
So
Arenado or Riley will be starting.
it makes more sense to me that Riley wins that. Haven't even really looked at the numbers to compare both of them.
Riley, he hasn't been the Austin Riley he has been in previous years, which again...
Neither is Nolan Arenado.
Right. That's
the same. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, they're almost the same. I'm looking at them right now. Well, he got the bag. Tell you that much.
He got the bag. Nolan,
you know what you do when you get the bag? You just exhale a little bit, bro.
Little exhale. Can't wait to exhale.
Okay, so the question is about Ryan McMahon. The finalists are going to be one of those two guys. I think I'm just going to say Austin Riley because of what the Braves do. I think Cardinals fans are so mad at their team that they're not going to stuff the ballot, and Braves fans are so happy with their team that they will stuff the ballot. I'm going Austin Riley. Going to take that one. That's my reasoning, right? After that, let's say two more people.
Nats need somebody.
Nats need somebody. Are the Nats going to have two?
Can't.
This gets interesting. This
Give it to Josiah, our friend.
Machado, some of these guys with names that might get named to the game probably will say no.
I think Manny's out. He missed some time and he hasn't performed
I think
for a
he's
little bit.
I think he's out. I think he's out too. I'm just saying some of the original names. If it does so happen, it's not like. And we have to say this again. It's not like everything's not based on stats in the All-Star game.
Right.
Not with the way they vote. It's not. Okay.
Man.
The Spencer Steer qualify. He's played kind of all over the place too, right?
Yeah, I don't
think he'd be a bonus.
I mean, for Rockies, I think you have to start your all-star is either Diaz, McMahon, or they have a couple bullpen options.
Diaz is going to be it for them.
You think so?
I think so.
Will Smith, Contreras, and Real Muto.
I think they carry more than two catchers, but they carry a bunch of catchers. I think they're going to carry 4 catchers per side. They don't want those guys catching a bunch.
I think it's normally 3.
Okay, say it's 3.
It will be at least.
I think
3.
he makes it.
Okay.
It'll be at least 3. So we got Spencer Steer mostly at first base. 45 games started, and 20 games started at third base. So I almost take him out of the equation at third base.
I think he's out.
Does Ryan McMahon have a shot at this?
He has a shot. I think the economics of it. I think if Diaz is in, I think that
Arenado's going to make it again.
Arenado's going to be on this team. He makes the All-Star team every year. I think he's going to start. He has the nod in fan vote right now. Again, I don't know. They can make that up as they go too. But I think Arenado ends up starting. I think Riley then gets interesting because there's going to be a ton of Braves. And then, are you getting Jamer? Are you getting JD Davis?
They do love that storyline. How many Braves are on that team? My goodness.
The best team in the National League. The Braves are sending 5 All-Stars.
They love that. Love that.
And Rocky fans, if you're tuning into this, this is a little unfair to Ryan McMahon because I think if everything was played straight, your NL third basemen are probably Jamer, JD Davis, and Ryan McMahon. But it's an all-star game. There's a fan vote. There's another committee that we're trying to snake our way on, and it's not looking great.
Can I just do something real quick to just save us? Look, the Giants should have some representation. We talked about Tyro Estrada. Let's mention Lamont Wade, please, so people don't get so mad at us.
Hot.
What's that situation?
I'm getting on his boat.
Ooh, him and Jack Flaherty.
Screw
India. We set up the cage fight. That would be interesting. Love my boy Jack. Okay, so right now, Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson. That makes a lot of sense for NL first baseman. I'm doing this just so we don't get yelled at, people.
Yeah, a lot of
first base
Wade calls. A lot of.
There was a lot.
Yes, the problem was everybody that called about Lamont Wade or Tyro Estrada mentioned both, and I was like, well, don't say two guys.
Yeah.
Everybody who called talked about both of them. It was like 4 people. So shout out
Lamont Wade tied for 4th in Fangraphs WAR with Matt Olson. So Freddie Freeman, Paul Goldschmidt, Christian Walker, top 3. Christian Walker.
Silver Slugger and Gold Glove last year down in the desert, by the way.
He was one that I had set aside, and he just kind of didn't make this final list of.
Or excuse me, Gold Glove last year, Silver Slugger in an earlier year. I mean,
typically Freddie, don't love the bald look. Just, it's not my cup of tea, but I think he makes it look good.
Okay.
Like when he got tossed out of the game and he's like standing on the top step, he's like, "What are that? I didn't even say anything. It wasn't even me." Like there was something there for him like that.
You haven't even mentioned Alonso. Like the names at first base are tough to overcome for an all-star game.
Do you put Lamont Wade over Freddie Freeman, Paul Goldschmidt, or Christian Walker or Matt Olson?
He can go to an outfield spot later too if they need to get funky.
I don't think so.
I think that matters.
I think if I have to pick one Giant, I'm taking Tyro over Lamont.
Duvall.
Oh, Matt Olson has room to grow. His BABIP is 257. Pete Alonso's is 189. Buy stock now. Sheesh. Ryan McMahon, yes or no?
No.
I don't think so either. Love you, though.
Sorry,
Sad
Ryan.
about it.
Want
him there.
I hope we're wrong. I hope Nolan Arenado says I don't deserve to be at the All-Star game this year.
I mean, this guy went to Modern Day. He wears number 24. I mean, the similarities between Ryan McMahon and I are crazy. He got a lot more money than I did. What's up with that? Why didn't I make more money?
Great episode, Trevor. We'll be back. It might be an earlier release. We got some funk going on.
Chick sucks.
Tell us who else. You know what? Get on the team, Ryan McMahon.
Find a way.
Matter day.
Defense is good. I don't know.
That line art.
Big football school.
Yeah.
Our boy Floorball Kraus went to their rival.
Really?
Yeah.